So I'm wondering if you were always going to be down for a Kick-Ass 2, or were you a little hesitant to reprise the role?
Yeah, I kind of was hesitant, purely because I thought the script was great. I mean, Jeff brought the script, and this had been something that, we weren't even thinking of doing a second one. Matthew Vaughn, who directed the first, who's producer on this, it was just a sort of standalone movie. I mean, yes, it had sequels attached to it in a way, but our options and everything ran out, and 4 years later, it sort of came back round again, and it was all like, should we all do this? Yeah, it's wicked, because the screenplay that Jeff wrote was, it had all those, it had the wittiness, the funny, action-packed, but also, more importantly, it took those characters and just developed them, and they had such heart and emotional journeys, and I think we all understood that and wanted to take it there. But Chloe's, she's physically a lot older and in a different place in the world, so that was a more, like, I can understand that was great. And Chris also was in a whole other headspace and revenge and whatnot, but my character was still the same character, but then going through some journey. But it was really quite a challenge for my head to kind of, how I was able to attack that and try and make it so it's familiar to the people that saw the first, but also for that character, that you didn't just come into the second one and be someone completely different again. It had to kind of relate, and that was quite a hard challenge for me.
You mentioned Chloë, and obviously this movie put you both on like a different level.
Yeah.
She's growing up and on the spotlight now.
Yeah.
How has your relationship on the set changed in these 4 years?
We don't ever see Chloë. She kind of, stays in her trailer every day.
Diva.
She's, no, she's amazing. She's one of the most talented young girls I've ever met. She's so smart, way ahead of her years, really mature, and really understands this world. I mean, the reason we get into it is for passion and the love of acting and kind of creating characters or whatever it is. But you know what? It's hard because there's a lot of business aspect to it. And I think she's really smart and been able to kind of block all that crap out and kind of just keep on the right path. And she's a real home girl,
And, your character has a lot of pretty deep emotional scenes in this. It's not just like all goofy comedy type stuff. So as an actor, what's more challenging? Is it the action, the choreography stuff, or is it like kind of getting those deep emotional scenes going?
Yeah, I mean, they're both kind of supposedly, they're different, really. The choreography I see as a dance and a kind of, but I like to bring the aspect of my character into the fighting. So you can't just necessarily see, oh, now he fights like a kickboxer who's been training in UFC and all that. It doesn't make sense. So, it's like he's still Dave. You still got to remember that guy underneath all that is gonna flinch and jump, whatever. So, that I find really interesting. And the emotional aspect, I think, I love getting into real deep sort of emotional tangles and twists and things. So yeah, I find it all a challenge, but I find it all fun and enjoyable.